I want to talk in this particular post about exploration. It just came to me, a word, exploration. To be explorative is to get out there and wander, be a nomad, to find the stumbles and the bumps is what I'm thinking about. That in true exploration, you might have an idea on what it is that you're going to do when you get out there. You might set your mind and heart and gear yourself to know the purpose of what you're going to achieve when you get out in your exploration. But the one thing you have yet to interpret is something you can't, and that's what's out there. And when you get out there, you're embarking on a whole new endeavor where you might have not even packed the right cargo for the trip because you thought you knew where you were going. And that's the quandary here in the exploration, to explore, not to explore. That's the creation. That's the question. It sounds something like Star Trek, doesn't it? But I don't want you to think of sci-fi. I want you to think of reality. And that just like you might explore the backyard or explore under the cabinet that you haven't cleaned for a while or explore the back of your closet where you know you need to explore. I'm saying that be amazed by the things you're going to find in your exploration because of the trip itself. And in that, you will not be wavered because you have started the journey. I want to explore your mind. I want you to help me explore my mind. I want to get rid of all the preconceived notions of I think I know what you know, or I think I know it all, or you know what I know, and we know that nobody knows anything. Because if we did, we wouldn't be here. I think that's the sum of the total. We're here on an exploration of life. And in that exploration of life, you will come upon things that you want to take in. You want to try to carry with you. You want to be a part of. Or you might want to destroy or annihilate to go further. But where there's cause and there's an effect in my exploration, and my chore is to also return from where I went. So I can't explore with the true self-thought of destruction because therefore I really hadn't achieved the goal of having an exploration because I hadn't made it back to the point of where I decided to explore. So, with that said, you gotta get into the existentialism aspect of life where you dig a little deeper. You go into that aspect where you go, are my means going to be what I need to get to where I'm going? Or do I need to hold on to the glory and the faith of where I'm going and let it play out as it should? If you're blessed and then you're in the way of something, then you don't have much worry. When you're trying to forge your own path and believe that you're the designer, you might have some man-made flaws and complications, is all I got to say. Because man's not perfect by any means. And if you thought that he was, you tell me who he is and I'll start reading up about him and I'll get back to you. I've had a great moment before, I just came here and posed with a person of real strong intellect. I'd rather not share their name, but, if you do not care, I'll go ahead and say God. Yes. Love speaking to God. Talk to him all the time. Call me crazy if you want, but it's natural for me to be crazy in that manner. A little crazy in this world is probably going to get you up tomorrow. All right, that's all I got to say about that one. Not digressing and keeping on my point of exploration, that I believe also when you explore and you find out new things about life that you didn't know before, you're now put in a new position to think differently. And when you think differently, you incorporate the ability to travel further in your exploration without losing sight of where you need to return to hold that consistency, to have that continuity as a person. Because in the chore of life, I believe there's a light and dark beam that cast on both our souls and all our souls so that we know the difference between right and wrong. If for some reason you are a person that you cannot interpret right or wrong, hold straight to reality. Hold straight to self-being, preservation in self. What would you or could you not withstand someone doing to you or with you and being comfortable with that? If you can't find that being comfortable with yourself, then you as an individual should not do that with someone else. I know that was a bit much, but I can go on like that. I can pontificate and open up a galaxy of stars by which you need a new telescope to start doing some things, or a probe satellite type system, because I can get into it. I don't want to get into it and leave you behind. I want to keep you with me in this exploration by which we both can seek true awareness and find place in this moment and find a moment here enough to move on, to move further. Moving further is my goal. I find myself at rest and I think of Cuba de ulcers or something. I find myself at rest and I think of things like aches. I find myself at rest and I think of leaving someone behind. So when there's a moment for rest, I think there's so much more to be done. So again, when I rest, I sleep. And when I sleep, I am out. And when I wake up, I'm back and it's no time for rest. You know? Because it's about the exploration. The exploration might find out the ability to dissect a second and make a second a minute. Mm-mm-mm. That's real. That's how exploration can be for someone when they're really seeking the path of trying to find a new awareness, to not just be isolated to where which they came from, to know that there's more. It's like a manifest destiny. Why are we here as a country? How did we get so far? The ideas of our forefathers and people before us have done these things to forge a pattern for us, a pattern by which we can follow and continue to grow from. But if we're stagnant and haven't achieved more than they have, we haven't done nothing. If we ain't came up with something like another constitution or a whole new country, a whole new world, we ain't done nothing they done yet. So get into that. The reality is exploration into the true identity of being where you are now and here. And finding that, that mojo. Where's your mojo? Don't forget your swag is what I'm saying. If you ain't got no swag, the trees gonna get in your way. If you ain't got no swag, the wind ain't gonna blow your way. If you ain't got no swag, you don't know how to interpret a day. If you ain't got no swag, you left behind all the way. Get your swag on. And to me, swag is it's an agility of spirit, an agility of mind, an agility of your heart and your emotions. You know, that's just a word, a colloquialism to, try to narrate it into something for a common time, a common folklore for people. Because my swag is not the same as my mom's swag, or nor is my mom's swag the same as my last born niece or nephew's swag. Because the swag is to be developed and manipulated through life so that it's explored. Where's your exploration?